Well, good morning. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning.
Lovely for you to join us.
It's really nice to be here.
Now, you're going to talk to us a little bit about a project you're doing for a PhD, aren't you? So firstly, could you tell us what a PhD is?
Well, the thing is that technically it's not a PhD, it's what's called a professional doctorate. So where PhDs are kind of like really advanced study that often are about things that a very small number of people are interested in. Professional doctorate is something which is, again, that further study, but it's based very much in what you're doing for your profession or your job. So in my case, it's study which is really rooted in what I do.
Fantastic. So that's a good start. I got that wrong. Can you tell us the title of what it is you're doing?
Okay, so my professional doctorate is in a subject called practical theology. Practical theology is, if you like, it's the thinking about God in relation to the stuff that we do. So it's how what we think about God affects the things that we do and the way we behave, but also about the way we behave and the things that we do affect what we think about God. And in my case, I'm particularly interested in the way people engage with other people who have different religious beliefs. So that's the bit that I'm really interested in.
Oh, fantastic. And how are you finding out about that? Because I came to see you.
Yeah, that's right. This is kind of turning the tables here. So Cathryn was one of my guinea pigs. So I did a little pilot project last year because I've been doing this part-time for the last 4 years now. And I've just got to the stage where I can actually do some field work and actually do some interviewing of people to find out about their kind of everyday encounters with people who have a different religious background, different religious beliefs. So that's what I'm hoping to do this year, is do some interviews with people who have that kind of everyday encounter with people with different religious beliefs. So not the kind of special occasion where you kind of come together for something special, but where it's every day.
Oh, great. And did you find you had to change the questions much between your pilot study and the ones you're asking now?
Oh, good question. Yes, because I remember, Cathryn was really helpful on this. So helping, it really helped me to kind of think about the questions I was asking, to focus it down so that I know really what it is that I want to ask people, rather than just having a whole list of difficult questions. It's kind of, I just want to hear people telling me stories about your encounters with your friends, your neighbours, the people you see on a kind of everyday basis who have a different religious beliefs to you. That's it.
Great. And have you done any interviews so far as the main project bit?
No, not as the main project. So today is my day for kind of going out, and I'm here this morning, and then this afternoon I'm going to All Saints in Belgrave, and hopefully kind of gathering some volunteers who might be willing to be interviewed over the next few months.
Great. And the people that you're interviewing, are they all going to be from churches?
Yes, so I'm particularly focused because you have to kind of narrow it down. I mean, there are all kinds of interesting things that I could do, but I'm particularly focusing down on people who identify as Christian and people who are part of Anglican churches. So that's partly just because that's my background, but it just helps to kind of have that focus. So if you would identify yourself as a Christian, and if you are part of an Anglican church like St. Peter's, then you're very welcome to take part.
Fantastic. And have you got any idea of where you think the questions are going to lead, as in the answers you're going to get, or is this just going to sort of be quite different for you and you're really not sure what's going to happen with the questions?
That's a really good question. So, because obviously, because the last 10 years I've been here in Leicester, and so I kind of chat to. I've got friends that I meet down the pub. There are people that I talk to at the school gate. There are people that I live, my neighbours as well that I engage with. So I'm doing this too, and so I've got some thoughts, I guess, about where it might lead. But I'm really interested in, because I think so often we can be told what we should do in relation to people of other faiths, and actually, I think there are people who are doing this all the time in their everyday lives who've got real wisdom about how it can be done well and how it can be done better. So I'm really looking forward to kind of hearing and working out some of that stuff.
Brilliant. And if someone's willing to do an interview with you, about how long do you think it's going to take?
Hopefully, the plan is no more than an hour, and that will be, and it will be recorded. But I'll get consent and permission for all of that from you, and it will be anonymised, so nobody will be able to kind of trace it as being you, and it will all be kept confidential. But it should be about an hour, and happy to meet wherever's convenient. Can come to you, or we can we can meet in the church, or wherever's comfortable for you.
And how long do you expect the project questioning part of it to take you, Anthony?
So I'm hoping to have that done over the next 6 months, and then I've got to do all the kind of the analysis and trawling through it. Apparently for every kind of 6 minutes of an interview, it takes about 4 hours to write it up. So it's quite a long process. And then over the next year, hopefully to write it up. And I'll be sharing a kind of summary of the findings with everybody who takes part as well.
And what do you hope will be the end result once you've done this work? What are you going to do with it?
I hope that it will be something that can be really useful for the churches, especially because, again, as I say, so often this kind of work and guidance on how to talk to people of other faiths is done by people who are kind of specialists in this area, and it's not very often you hear from people who are actually just living this every day of their lives. And I think the people in Leicester who do that have got a really important voice, and I think it would be really good to kind of share that more widely.
And how far do you think this will be going out? Is there a set place it gets sent to?
So I'm doing the doctorate I'm doing is through University of Chester. So that's where I'll be kind of submitting it. But then who knows, if I can, maybe it'll materialize as a book, or somebody suggested to me as like a course or something that would be hopefully kind of more widely available and useful.
Fantastic. Right, and is there anything I've missed that you'd like to tell us about it?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything. That was brilliant interviewing, Cathryn. You could do my interviews for me.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Anthony, for coming upstairs and tell us about your project.
Brilliant. And do talk to me afterwards if you are interested, and I'll take your details.
How many people are you after getting?
About half a dozen, 10 at most, really. So.
Do you want me to pick them now?